Good morning. This morning, I want to talk with you about something very dear to me, and that is keeping a record of our experiences and our memoirs, our journals, and ultimately our autobiographies and precious memories from our childhood. You know, I'm an experiential therapist. This means that oftentimes, I have people express themselves in ways that are artistic and that involve some form of poetry, of writing, of painting, sculpture, role playing, just various activities that have nothing to do with sitting and analyzing. And as you go through your life, you very well may want to take the challenge to get some of your memories down. It's a wonderful experience. So, today I want to show you some of the different ways that people can get their memories down and capture the memories that they have of moments in their lives or periods in their lives that they would like to keep either for healing or for entertainment or for just taking care of yourself so you remember these things when you're older. So, I'm going to start with a story about myself. And I want to tell you that this is the first time in my recording that I've been sitting in what I call my museum room. It has become my office for virtual work, and you will probably see on the walls that there are photographs. They're all of my family. There are various photographs of friends. There are different projects that I have started. There are paintings that I've done. Just so many things that I collected to go in one room. The rest of my house is very sparse, but this room is full of my own memories. And I love sitting in here and doing my virtual work. I was on the board of a community center that was developing, and the CEO was asking me to write an article, autobiography, or something about myself. So I sent my resume. And he said, "Well, Carrie, anybody can read a resume, but please write something that says who you really are." So I said, "Well, okay, here goes." So I thought I'd read you this a little section. It's a section about my childhood fantasy. And actually, we lived this fantasy, my sister and I. And I sent this to him, and he said, "That was perfect. That explained to the board exactly who you are." So it's very fast, and I'd like to read it to you. I grew up in Bumpus. I was a jungle queen. Margaret Lee was Tiger Girl, and I was Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Mother sewed us jungle costumes just like those in the comic books. Tiger stripes for Margaret Lee and leopard spots for me. We sewed in shoulder pads for bosoms. I think we still have those outfits in the big trunk at Bumpus. Every day in the summer, Mother and Daddy would let us walk barefooted down to the river to get the ponies. Barefoot with no harnesses, we rode Ginger and Dolly home. The other ponies would follow. One time, Dolly galloped under a low branch. I caught my long ponytail in a limb. Dolly went racing on, and I hung from the tree like Absalom, if anyone knows their Bible. Little did my family know that they were laughing at a future psychotherapist. Margaret Lee was 2 years older than I am, and we were inseparable. We played every summer all day long. By the end of the summers, our bare feet were no longer sensitive to stepping on stones or undergrowth in the forest surrounding our home. Every day we swam in Chick's pool, a concrete homemade pool Daddy made for us, which was fed by 3 springs. Oh, so cold. Every spring, Mother would rent a pump, and all of us would carry wheelbarrows full of leaves out to a ditch. Then we would wash the concrete walls with whatever Mother decided to use that year. The pool filled up and overflowed into a pipe leading into a pond in just 3 weeks, just in time for summer. Our 5 dogs, who in those days could run free, rode with us on inner tubes, content to soak up the sun. We entertained ourselves and other playmates by diving backwards and doing flips off the concrete pier into the deep water. Margaret Lee and I were and still are best friends, but she never lets me live down my recurrent crime of stealing her hairbrush and taking her ironed white blouses from her closet and wearing them to school. There's more, but that's just a taste of what you can do by taking a small memory and elaborating on it. And so many of us have those memories that we can elaborate on. Now, what I'd like to do is to show you some things that my clients and I, uh, mostly my clients, and they've all given me permission to use them, have expressed different moments, different memories, using medium other than words, other than logical words. There's still lots of writing, poetry, and autobiography stuff. Here is one of a collage. Let's see, I think you can probably see that. And this is of a relationship, and it talks about there is a knockout combination. It's a new relationship she's talking about. There's nothing in the air but love. It's the easiest decision under the sun. Sensational, unrivaled. This is a moment that this person, who was a client, wanted to capture. So she made a collage with words that said what her feeling about that relationship was. And sometimes relationships change, so it's nice to have a record of the beginning. This was a client who came to do some psycho-spiritual work, and I asked her to find a picture of a symbolic representation of her spirituality. And this is what she picked out to convey that memory or that concept. And it's a picture of a lamb, of course, with Christ. And that was her faith. And I thought that that was a beautiful choice that she made. Some people express themselves with sewing. And this is a picture of a quilt. And each square in the quilt represents a certain aspect of this person's life. And I thought you would enjoy seeing the overall quilt. Of course, I won't explain what each section means, but that's a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork. And it definitely reflects her care and her great involvement in this project. You probably have noticed my logo. That was made by a gentleman who liked to work with wood. And this is barn wood and then cherry on top of it. And that's the bird. So that's the logo that I use. This next collage, and we use collages a lot, is one in which closure was taking place. And this is an example of a collage having to do with a particular feeling. And this client was having difficulty with closure and put her feelings and thoughts about her closure onto a collage and framed it. And that hangs, I'm sure, in her office at home. And now, here is a part of this room that you see me in right now. And these are pictures, I don't know if you can see the detail, of my sister's book that she started writing called The Secret of Ironing Board Baby. And these are the illustrations. Actually, I helped with writing the short story, actually. And it's a nonfiction story. It was actually something that happened in her youth. And this hat right here is my great-grandmother's hat. And I was given that because I was called Little Miss Curiosity as a child. And one of my inheritances from her was the curiosity. They said that my this is my great grandmother, was very curious, that she was known for her curiosity. And in my room here, I have this hat right up on the right side of me. And I have enjoyed seeing it up there and having a reminder of something from generations back. This is a collage again of a client who did what she called a tabula rasa, which means a clean slate. And it's a little picture of um, things that matter right to the core of her. A bird, gratitude is a choice, why not, a garden, go run, various things like that. So now the last one that I want to show you is a very detailed and interesting, and I don't know that you can see the detail in this, but and let me just cover the name. These are all clients who've given me permission to use their work as long as I didn't reveal who they are. And this is a piece of work that is very detailed and has to do with a moment in time in this client's life that she wanted to remember. And it was about a triangle that she was involved with. And it had to do with very strong feelings. And she had a wolf represent the third person, and she had herself represented, and she had eyes all over the actual drawing, and they were the part of her vigilance in watching the situation. And as we worked with that capturing of that memory um, was something that got her out of her head about it and into her creative side. And she began to let go of that difficulty. Now, so I'm not suggesting that each of you have difficult moments or therapeutic moments, although I do believe that all of our self discovery is therapeutic. But I am saying that it would be so valuable to you to capture your memories, and you will be so grateful when time comes along that you begin to forget things, maybe, that you have writing that captures memories, expressive art that captures memories, poetry that captures memories. And I just would really love to see some of your work and to hear about some of your work. And you have my telephone number, and you have my website, which has a place for you to write your responses in. And I do hope you'll just let me know. And I'll see you next week with a different topic. Thank you.